YTBC student. Now, that is the youngest, baddest uploader who has stepped foot and touched buttons on this thing and has made total sense. And I tell you something, I've seen a lot of them come and go. But YTBC student has now graduated into the midst of the masters.
What up, everybody? So this is a video that's going to be about standards. Now, I am breaking this video up into two parts in the same video. What I'm going to do is, if you go into the comment section, I will have the time posted as to where the boxing standards actually starts. Because this first part doesn't actually pertain to boxing itself. Now, this first part about standards that I really want to address has to do with people that I associate with. Now, what you see before you is a screenshot of an individual who left this comment. And at first glance, this comment seems to be a comment of respect. You know, and despite it saying at the beginning, saying you might be full of shit, I'm not sensitive like a lot of other people on YouTube. I understand that people come from different backgrounds and have been brought up different ways, and I just took it for what it is. This is just how this individual articulates. So I didn't take offense to it. And I went ahead and I thanked them and let them know the respect is mutual, or the respect I at least thought was there is mutual. So then later, and this was a comment that was posted just yesterday, by the way, but then later, yesterday, I find out that this very same individual is telling Jeff Cotto to watch himself with me because I'm an asshole. Now, I don't care what walk of life you come from, how you were raised, you know, what cultural background you have. This comment that was left on my page is deceptive, given the events that have occurred. Now, mind you, there has been absolutely no contact between me and this individual since he made the comment, other than my reply, which was that, you know, that means a lot. We don't always have to agree. And I will, you know, I've never unsubbed from you and don't plan on doing so, which you can throw that out the window. But back to what I was saying, you know, and, you know, I respect his opinion. So it doesn't matter how you were raised or anything. You know, this is deceptive. Okay? This is a classic wolf in sheep's clothing. Now here's the thing about a wolf in sheep's clothing. The wolf in sheep's clothing is dangerous, very dangerous to sheep. However, it is not that dangerous to a man. Now, I've said it in at least 3 videos, pointing out people who have become sheep. It's observations that I've made. But one thing that you will find consistent when I'm talking about sheep is that these are characteristics that do not apply to me. Because I am a man who thinks for himself. Even this individual acknowledges this in this very comment. So, why would a wolf in sheep's clothing try to deceive one who is not of sheep? I don't have the answer to that, to be honest. All I can say is it was a poor choice in who they were trying to deceive. Now, I'm not mad. This doesn't really anger me. I just don't like to be bullshitted. That's just the bottom line. Keep it real with me. Don't bullshit me. We're all supposed to be grown adults. I remember this kind of behavior being in middle school. You try to act like you're cool with somebody, and then for whatever reason, you go to your friends, your mutual friends, and you try to turn them against against them. Like, I'm 31 years old. I'm not going to conduct myself like I'm 12. Now, the irony here is, this comment was on a video that I made. It's the last one before this one that I'm recording right now. That video was me trying to show the solution to a problem that we've had here for a while. So I pose a solution, and that somehow makes me an asshole. I don't know, but wouldn't somebody who lies to your face and tells you that they respect you, but then turns around and tells others to watch out with you because you're an asshole, ironically, wouldn't that make that individual an asshole? Wouldn't it? I think it does. I think it applies to that individual. So like I said, I'm not mad. I don't like to be bullshitted. That's all there is to it. I thought I was dealing with grown adults who can respect other men for having their own opinion, but I can admit when I was wrong. So, where I'm going with this, as this applies to... one more thing before I get to the closing of this part of the video. One last thing. And believe me when I say this, because everybody has it in them to act like an asshole. They really do. Nobody's exempt. And that includes me. But believe me when I say this, there ain't none of y'all on YouTube that has seen me be an asshole yet. And that's real. Ain't none of y'all seen me get nasty. Now that being said, everything that I've said up to this point, standards. How does this situation apply to standards? Well, simply put, standards of people who I associate with, standards of people that I want to surround myself with. I want to surround myself with people who are positive. I want to surround myself with people who actually are trying to do something positive in the community. And we don't have to agree. Our opinions don't have to sync. Because I understand everybody's an individual, and you as a man should have your own opinion. But as long as we're striving to at least have everybody be on the same page in that regard, then I want to associate with you. But I will admit I've been a little bit too lenient with some people. I see them say very controversial things, and this isn't about the individual that's on the screen now. This is me addressing everybody else. All right? The only reason why I even showed you all that is because you can't blame me for having the standards that I'm about to lay right now. I don't want to surround myself and associate myself with bullshitters. I do not want to surround myself and associate myself with people who are trying to deceive me, which makes absolute sense. I want to associate myself with people who, when they see that I am trying to come up with a solution, even if they don't agree with the solution, they can at least appreciate the sentiment that I am trying to do something about a problem. I don't want to surround myself with somebody that, when they see someone trying to actually come up with solutions, that they're not going to try to keep up the divide. If you don't think it's going to work, please tell me you don't think it's going to work. I may not agree with you, but tell me why you don't think it'll work, and why so, and what your solution is. But no matter what cultural background, no matter how you were brought up, no matter what you have gone through in life, I think we can all agree that we don't like people who bullshit us. Bottom line. From the people from the lowest depths of society all the way up to the billionaires. Nobody likes when somebody tries to bullshit them. That's something that all people have in common. That being said, a lot of people are going to get put on the chopping block. I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I try to be fair. And when others are not willing to reciprocate, it don't get you nowhere. All right? I'm not going to become an asshole. Because, I could be an asshole and say because this individual has treated me this way that now I'm going to label his whole group and association. That would be really asshole-ish of me. But I'm not going to do that. If you're a good dude, we can be cool. But if you're going to try to bullshit me and you're going to try to deceive me, don't waste your time. Now, if you see me in the comment section of a video and you comment to me and I don't reply, and you are an individual who has bullshitted me in the past, attempted to bullshit me in the past, have attempted to deceive me in the past, you can pretty much assume that me and you are done if you don't get a reply. you can say goodbye to the nice guy. 'Cause trust me, you ain't never gonna see another nice guy like this.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head?
Now here is the part where I talk about standards in boxing. So at this time, I would like to take the time to say, what up everybody who talks boxing, comments about boxing, and makes boxing videos. A while back, Zone 6 posed a question, what is your standard for boxing? I never got around to giving my response, but it was a very good question. And I saw some good responses to Zone 6 video. So, recently, I started talking with a young man. His name is Aiden Morrison. He's a very, very smart young man. And, we just got to talking about boxing. And what really struck a chord with me is he genuinely was like, we need to make boxing a sport again and not a business. And this is really just foundation for our standards in boxing. And I told him I wholeheartedly agree. That's the part that I think is really hurting the sport, is the business and the politics. Now, not saying that these things shouldn't exist, but there's a very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like there's imbalance there. There's imbalance between the sport, the business, and the politics. The business and the politics are supposed to be there to support the sport. But right now, it seems like it's crippling the sport. You got fights that should be made. There's no good reason why they shouldn't be made, but they don't get made. Why? Because of money or politics or both. And his reply to me when I said that I wholeheartedly agree was astounding. Astounding. I couldn't have put it into better words myself. I mean, this dude laid the groundwork for what our standards, or at least what my standards are in boxing. I was about to say what our standards should be in boxing, but you know what? Everybody's standards is their own. So that would be wrong of me to say that. But he laid out the groundwork of exactly what my standards are. Just never really thought about how to articulate those. And I was just blown away. But fighters should be paid according to the ranking. Excuse me. You know, and catchweights should be nullified when it comes to sanctioned fights. Period. Not just title fights, but sanctioned fights. It should be nullified. It should be, we should go ahead and chop that up, throw it away, never to be seen again. Why should somebody be ranked at a certain weight division when they're not earning that rank at that weight division? It's only common sense, people. And if fighters want to partake in a prize fight to make money, well then that's when all that business, how much somebody's going to get paid, then because it's not sanctioned, we don't worry about ranking. Prize fighting, then we start paying based on star power and all that stuff. Pay-per-view, draw and all that. Only in boxing do we not reward our fighters for doing a good job. We just reward them for how big of a name they are. Like, boxing has just become Hollywood. Boxing has become Boxing LLC, like what Aiden Morrison said. But if we were to do all these things he said, got rid of these belts that don't mean nothing, because all they're there for is so that these sanctioned bodies can collect money. If we were to get rid of those belts, we were to pay based off of ranking, which, if you think about it, at your job, you get paid based off of ranking. Most jobs will rank their employees on a yearly basis, and your raise or lack thereof will be determined on that ranking. In other sports, the better you play, the more you get paid. Meanwhile, in the boxing world, we're too busy worried about marinating and, well, I'm the bigger draw. Like, if you get your ass knocked out, all you did was get knocked out in front of more fans than the person who beat you beat it in front of their own fans. Whoop-de-doo. What did you really accomplish? Now, I'm not stupid. I do realize that this will probably never happen. Everything right here, all these standards you see before you, will probably never happen. Because the sport has gotten to a point where even the fans are making excuses for the retarded things that happen in boxing. So I realize that. I'm a realist. I'm not gonna act like, oh, this could be done today. This will probably never ever be reality. But we could, or when I say we, I mean, I don't really necessarily mean us, but the sport could start making strides to make things better than what they are right now. To make it more like a sport. Because that's what it is. But as the saying goes, the lunatics have taken over the asylum. Given too much power to these promoters. Have given too much power to the fighters. Like, riddle me this. Why are fighters picking their own opponents? Yesterday was Thanksgiving. And there was at least 3 football games that took place. I can guarantee you, none of those teams got to pick their opponent. I can also guarantee you that none of those teams will play in their home field the whole season. Ever. But somehow, some way, we justify it. Like, I don't know. But anyways, these are my standards for boxing. This is my hope for boxing. And like I said, I'm real. realistic. I know this will probably never happen where boxing is exactly how we see before us on this screenshot. But if it could at least strive to make things better, to make it to where business will not be the reason why a fight isn't made. Politics will not be the reason why a fight isn't made. Start fining these promoters. I guarantee you attach a hefty fine to the promoter because they're getting in the way of a fight being made that is being mandated. Tag on a hefty fine, you will have solved that problem. Because that ain't your problem. Boxing, that ain't your problem. That's their problem. Your problem is to make the fights that should be made. Now, if Golden Boy goes under because they got charged some fines because they weren't doing what they were supposed to do, well then, survival of the fittest. Too bad. Sorry, Oscar. Sorry, Al Heyman. Sorry, Bob Arum. Because the fact of the matter is, y'all don't really give a damn about me, so why in the hell should I give a damn about you? But these are my standards. Y'all let me know what y'all think. To all my subscribers, anybody watching my videos, or if you just so happen to stumble on this video, hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cassius Marcellus Clay. He's young, he's handsome, he's a prophet, he's a poet. They know it. I must be the greatest. I told the world I am the greatest. I'm the king of the world.